Here tonight. Wasn't it a beautiful day? Did you guys have a chance to get out today? It was so gorgeous. Susan, I see that you're saying something, but you're on mute.
Yes, it was a gorgeous day here in Utah.
Yeah, so beautiful. Well, welcome everybody. I just wanted to tell you a little about me and my journey with Active Greens. About 2 months ago, I was just coming back from a trip from Mexico. And in this trip, it was called a rebirth retreat. And we were really studying all elements of energy and nutrition. And, you know, we hear a lot about how everything is energy. But, you know, and I know that, but after this trip, it just went to a whole nother level. For example, all of our meals, it was completely plant-based. And I was there for 10 days. And after 10 days of eating just a plant-based meal, the inflammation in my body and the way that I felt was so incredible that you know, at home I'm active, but I used to take a lot of supplements. And I was literally thinking, okay, I need to find a plant-based green drink because my body just felt so much better. I knew it was something that I needed to do, you know, just for myself. And when I got back in town, a friend of mine called me up and said, hey, Lori, you got to check out this new green drink. And I was like, wow, how about that? I was just, you know, thinking about that. And, you know, when we think vibrationally and energetically, when I heard, you know, that how the soil is, that's just incredible. From, you know, the Dead Sea that was there, was it the Bonneville, you know, it's like there's only 2 places in the world where the mineral content is that high. So from a quantum physics level, energetic level, that is just incredible. Something else that happened is when I started taking the product, I was in a bicycle accident that was pretty bad. And so although I was using Western medicine, I really dove into Eastern medicine too to heal myself. And I went to a Reiki master, and something that was interesting, she said, you have started taking a new supplement. And she didn't, you know me or know my story or anything that I had started this new drink. She could literally feel it vibrating in my body. And, you know, it helped me from a nutritional standpoint. I know heal faster. But it is just the best thing that we can put into our bodies, really, for the money. It's really quite incredible. So that is my story and how I got involved with Active Greens. And then I think it's really important to just test things. I don't know if you guys have seen a video that I put on the community page in Facebook. That kind of, we did it kind of like an infomercial because I wanted to get the message out at just how great this product was. And we just put that on, I think, was it 7 days ago? And I'm putting it on YouTube, but I got 3 influencers from that video. So I think it's really important as you get to know this product and you're starting to decide, okay, how do I want to approach people? I mean, our host tonight is going to give you a lot of great ideas how to do that. And he's incredible at that, but it's okay, I think, to test different things like little videos or lives, you know, to get out your message, but to make sure that you've tested the product and that you know a lot about it, because your energy and enthusiasm going out is what's going to get people excited about it. So that's a little bit about my story. Thank you everyone for being here. I want to introduce to you now our host. Talk about great energy and love and light. If you've ever met Kevin in person, you are forever changed. I've met him a couple of times and I always come away inspired, and I've learned something, you know, new, and he's just a brilliant human being. So Kevin, over to you.
What a phenomenal introduction. Thank you, Lori. Wow. If you guys haven't seen that video, Lori, would you post that again just for posting purposes whenever we're off of here. We can post in multiples or send me a direct link and I'll share it out also. Cool video. You got to watch it. I'm not going to spoil it for you. So real quick, a couple housekeeping items just to get out of the way. So last week it was like restart the business mindset wise. This is the week to go back through all my lists, reach out to everybody. This was the last week of the month. So phone calls, reaching out to people to see if they were going to place an order before the purge aspect. The NFT thing is tomorrow. So if you haven't minted the NFT, tomorrow is the final day for that. And then with that being said, the following day, the 11th, all the way till the end of the month, you'll want to pop on and get your NFT for the month of October. So that was a thing that way. Pro tip has to do with auto ship. So you'll go and you'll have an auto ship profile and you're thinking, man, we're about a month into this of auto ships hitting. For every one of you that's on the call tonight, there's a pro tip for you. If you get as many people as you can to put their auto ship to the first month, and now I'd put a huge asterisk and I'd say, if they've ordered this month, because if your auto ship hasn't hit yet, and then you scheduled it to the first of the month, well, you're missing one. But once your auto ship has gone through, there's something magic about a bunch of the reorders happening in the first week of the month. If you're pushing for rank, hypothetically, maybe not this month, but next month, the month after, like in the coming months as it goes, that's a super cool thing. But I wanted to just dive into the meat and potatoes of what I was going to talk about tonight. And then, of course, we got to get the main event, Peyton Parnag, on tonight. I get so excited about what he's going to talk about. So I wanted to talk about abundance. Abundance is the perfect topic. I'm going to share a really cool meme that a guy that I really respect posted. He said, there's an abundance. Oh, is that muted? Let's see. Oh, there we go. There is an abundance of oil. There's an abundance of coal. There's an abundance of gas. There's an abundance of food. There's an abundance of water. Scarcity is being fabricated by the people that stand to benefit from the scarcity. And I started thinking about that all week. And I'm like, okay, think about abundance for a second. Every one of you joined this opportunity for some reason. And most of the time, if we dive down to what our why is at the core of it, we believe that would make whatever that thing we want would fulfill us, meet our needs, make us happy, and we would have joy. And ultimately, like, we got in this because we want abundance to some degree, whether that's an abundance of health, an abundance of money, an abundance of time. So depending on which of the resources it is, abundance is the default resting state of everything in the universe. Think about nature for a second. The water exists for others and gives life to everything, but it doesn't hydrate itself or consume itself. The sun gives life and resources and photons and vitamin D and radiation to everything, but doesn't consume its own. The tree grows fruit that the wind picks so that the animals can be nourished. The default resting state of everything, including the cell, or up quarks and down quarks at the smallest particle matter, abundance is the natural resting state of everything. So why are we in scarcity? Why do we not seem to have enough time? Why do we not seem to have enough money? Why do we not seem to have enough? And it's funny because that's bred into us, because if there's scarcity in the diamond world, we can charge more for diamonds. If there's scarcity in the oil, even though we have reserves and reserves and reserves, we can raise the price. We can adjust the prices of other things. And so you see that at a core level, just like every human being has the same insecurity, we all believe we're not blank enough. And because we're not blank enough, our fear is that we won't be loved. Whatever that not enough belief that we have is from our own life experience of what we made our insecurity, which is slightly different, but not being enough is the core insecurity. Because from the television, from the time we're little kids, we're taught, you're not blank enough. You're not pretty enough unless you buy my makeup. You're not good enough unless you wear our shoes. You're not enough unless you buy our product. Manufactured scarcity through marketing so that you will then feel like you'll be more than enough if you get something. But that concept of I'll be happy when I get the money, I'll be happy when I'm national trainer, I'll be happy when I have those shoes, is like saying when I get a six pack and huge muscles, then I'll start eating healthy and going to the gym. Because in reality, abundance is a state. There are a lot of states of being. If I jump up and down, or I high five you, we give a hug, we scream really loud, everything about our biochemistry changes, and our different neurons are firing. The chemicals flowing through our body have changed. They are states of being. And there are so many different states that we can choose, and choosing a state is a conscious choice. Peyton talked about enthusiasm on the last call. To be enthusiastic is a state, to be sad is a state, to be happy is a state. They're conscious choices. Abundance is a state. It's the default resting state of everything. So to get back to the truest nature of us as people is to be abundant, whether that's us having so many green juices that we're sharing them with others. We have bottles of water to share with others. We're sharing our excitement and enthusiasm of what we just found in this product to something else. Enthusiasm comes from the Greek word entheos. It means godlike. To share love is to be godlike. God is love. There's an element of that plays into here. And so just to kind of circle it all into a thing, abundance is a choice. Abundance is a state, and there's a cheat code to abundance. To be abundant is to have more than enough. So whether you believe in God, whether you're an atheist and you don't believe in anything and it's all chance, whether you believe in the universe or you're just not sure, what there is in science that I guess all ideologies believe is there's a law called the law of sympathetic resonance. Sympathetic resonance says one vibration finds another vibration. So, and there's harmonization that occurs when that happens. Like two pianos in the same room, I hit the middle C on the first piano and the C string of middle C on the other piano vibrates in unison. Like when you say, I'm going to get a black minivan, and everywhere you look, you see that black minivan, but you never saw him before, it's resonance. So if during the week you're saying, I'm going to share the business with three people, and then the right three people present themselves to you in a synchronistic way, so be it. Well, there's a cheat code to abundance, and I want to share it with you. Gratitude. Gratitude is the secret to abundance. Think about what gratitude is for a second. Every prayer always starts with gratitude. Every meditation begins with gratitude. Gratitude is the cornerstone cheat code to getting more in life. Because what you're saying, when I say, I am so grateful for whatever the thing is, gratitude in an energy or in like a state is to say to God or to the universe, your creator, whatever you believe, or to just say to yourself if you don't believe in anything. You say, I am so blessed that I have so much because I got another day and I can see, my feet work and I can walk. Like, we're not talking about money. We're just talking about being here right now. Like, I am so grateful that I have so much in just those little things. And then as a result, the universe is like, hey, we're going to give you a lot more because you said, I'm so blessed I have so much. So what went out was, I'm so blessed I have so much. The radio station you tuned into or you were harmonized with was, I'm so blessed I have so much. And so all you're hearing is all the hits of, I'm so blessed I have so much. Experiences that make you feel so blessed you have so much. People that make you feel, I'm so blessed I have so much. Experiences, people, situations, patterns that continue to flow into your world because you're listening to that radio station. Gratitude is the cheat code to abundance. You started this journey with against all odds because you wanted to beat the odds. You wanted to be abundant, whether it was time, money, health, whatever. And in the aspect of abundance, to me, it's being grateful for now because success is the progressive realization of a worthy dream. To me, it's like, don't talk to me about problems like Dexter Yeager used to say, talk to me about your dream. Tell me about your dream. Be so grateful that you have so much that you're like, the dream is distant, but just being here now on the path to the dream is to be grateful, is to step into the abundance that's everywhere. That's everything. And that's the state. And if you come from that place and you reach out to a prospect, they feel it. They're a little more grateful. they're a little happier. There's a little more abundance in that person's life. There's a little reminder that they're so blessed they have so much. You permeated the absolute most important thing you could do into their world. That's so powerful. So you think about it, it's like you've got the mainstream media, whether that's marketing, TV, advertisements, that then conditions society. And we all share the same insecurities, and we've all manufactured with our own consent scarcity, not enough. And then we've created the insecurity around scarcity. If you can psychologically see how that came about, you could choose something different. I see an abundance of opportunity. I want to share, I'm almost out of time. Gratitude being the cheat code was my focal point of that. And before you recruit to get in a state of abundance with a little gratitude, there's so many different ways to exercise gratitude. You could give top to bottom, like, I'm grateful I have hair because a lot of my peers are balding, and that would make me really insecure, and I would have to like shave my whole head, and I don't have to do that. I can see my eyes, you know, and you start working your way all the way down. And it's like by the end of it, you're in a state of gratitude. That's just one of so many. But what I was going to say is I went out into the world on a Saturday, yesterday, with my 5 kids, well, 4 of my 5 kids. And we went out to all these stores. There were so many people in the parking lot. There was so much traffic. There were so many people in front of me when I was waiting to turn. There were so many people in the store. There were so many people waiting in line. I just had to wait forever. I was like, I forgot why I shop on Saturday, why I don't shop on Saturdays. And I had this moment, and I was like, none of these people know about Against All Odds. None of these people have tried Active Greens. The next time I think I've talked to every single person, I'm going to remember the day at the store, because no, I have not talked to every single person. This business is just 2 or 3 things. It's recruiting, which is, what is recruiting? My mentality on recruiting is like, I'm going to share this with everybody because I want them to say no to me after they've seen it, not before. And I want them to take a look. If they decide they don't see it for them, or they have something better they're doing for their dream, awesome. I'm signing up 2 out of 10. Come be one of the 8 that say no, so I can cross you off my list with a free and clear conscience. So the other part besides recruiting, I say, would be onboarding. And onboarding's cool. It's like, if none of you on tonight's call have been onboarded, to me, the onboarding part is simple. It's like, I want to walk you through your back office, and we could be on a phone call, and I could say, hey, on a phone call, let's set up your auto ship profile. Let's enable your auto ship. Just so you know, if you get paid in your e-wallet, you can use that to withdraw, or you can use that to take out for your auto ship. And then we set their auto ship to the 1st of the month. That part's done. I tell them about the NFTs. I send them the YouTube video so they can set their NFT up on their time. And then I'm going to show them where the Telegram group is, have them know about this call. And then once they kind of have like a good understanding of that, I'll make sure we get their training scheduled and kind of get them going. And then there's this aspect that they always say, it's cliche. They say the fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune's in the follow-up. It's kind of like following up is almost as magic in this business as recruiting is. So there's like a powerful thing that way with regards to, I guess you could say, like the follow-up part. And I'm like, you know what? Peyton Parnick tonight is going to talk about that part. So I'm going to bring him up. And Peyton, are you here? Let's see. I'll make sure.
Yep, I'm right here. Just was muted. Got me? Sweet. Well, I just want to say thanks to Kevin for that. Actually, like, Kevin and I obviously have had a long history together and a great friendship. And of all the different things over the years that, I've watched him study and watched him learn and watch him master, and the things that I've learned in my path, and then what we've looked to combine together, he's done an absolutely phenomenal job. Almost as good or better than anybody else I've ever met, or spent any duration of time personally, of being able to really take a concept and an idea, a vision, and to turn it into reality. If you look at and listen to exactly what it was that he described his life becoming, back in 2009 and 10, when him and I were really becoming good friends and working together, and then fast forwarding just a couple of years, 3, 4, 5 years, and really all that he had created, and not just in the material, not just in business, which he had tremendous success, but with family and with kids and dynamics and relationships, and and really living his purpose of, understanding people and contributing to people. And like he likes to say, breathing life into people's dreams and stuff like that. It's just tremendous. So when he started to share these concepts, I've studied success, and I've pursued success on my own in many different realms. But always feeling like there was a missing link a little bit here and there, and starting to understand those concepts of abundance and how to basically set those intentions and how to get that energy into a congruent level, and then to have those events start to take place in your own personal lives. So I'm both inspired and grateful for that. And to kind of go along with that, what we really always have in mind with this call, and our goal for this call, is to have something that everybody can have a lifeblood, right? A rhythm, something that we do and we gather every single week to have insights, to have conversations, to try to add value. And there's two aspects to that, right? Like the context of that, of course, is against all odds, and growing the against all odds business, which we have a combined goal, and then we have our own individual goals. And the second part to that is there's kind of two aspects of what you're going to need to have in order to successfully do that. Whatever it is that your goal is, again, whether it's something to supplement your life, or whether it's something to become your life, or whether it's something to, help create a life that you haven't yet lived, that vision, that desire, that dream, right? That thing that ultimately you feel gratitude in your heart for already, as it comes to fruition. And what you're going to need is, you're going to need basically a skill set, and you're also going to need to have a mindset, right? A skill set and a mindset. So these calls, especially, hopefully every single week, we want it to be just a platform and an environment where it's an evolution of that skill set and that mindset. Another way to think about it is a philosophy. So tonight, I will end with a really phenomenal way that I love to follow up, something that is really low pressure and something that each and every one of us can do every week, because now that we've been taking the product for a couple of months, we've been here for a couple of months, there's tons and tons of interactions that each and every one of us have had already, whether it's just, offering a stick of product to somebody. And if you just joined us, can you go ahead and hit mute real quick? And so, yeah, it's whether it's just a stick of product that you share with somebody, or a quick conversation that you've had about active greens or about AAO. There's many people that now are ready to hear the next bit, right? And so having an effective means to follow up is going to be really important. Before we get to that, I think having a philosophy and a mindset in a bigger picture is so phenomenally important if you're going to really succeed in business, because business is emotional. Business happens at the pace of life, right? Every single one of us has other businesses, other jobs. We have family, we have obligations every day. It's like you have demands on your time, you have things that are happening. And so to have a picture at a bigger level of some of the things that are going to happen for you is really, really valuable. And so if you've never heard this before, one of the things that you can kind of start to think about in that self-awareness is where you are in this cycle. And this is a 4-stage cycle. And anytime that you want to apply yourself to anything, even if you're, if you, like, for example, if you are a professional baseball player and you know how to play a position and you know how to, be really, really high level at that particular position, you get recruited to a new team and you start playing with that team, you still are going to go through, you can condense this, but you're still going to go through this evolution as you learn the systems and the processes and the language and the vernacular and everything of that particular team. At the same time, if you're brand new to the sport of baseball, you're going to go through these four stages, in a very, very much longer duration. So my point is that whether you're a seasoned pro at building marketing teams and building, selling product and stuff like that, or whether you're just learning how to do this for the first time in your life, understanding these stages and then playing with these stages is really important. So the first stage that you're going to always encounter is what we call unconscious incompetence. And so what that is you don't even know what you don't even know. You don't even know that you're bad, basically, right? And so unconscious incompetence. And sometimes it's not until you get to the next stage that you even realize that you're in unconscious incompetence. But just realize that we all tend to be in this place. It's okay. And the only way to get through unconscious incompetence is to get through it, right? And so one of the most important aspects of this business is that we cannot think our way through the stages of the business. We cannot read our way through the stages of the business. Now, it is important to think and reflect. It is important to read and learn, right? But it's in applied action that we learn our way through the steps of the business. So someone coming into the business, unconscious incompetence, not even what you don't even know. And what's important is, like Kevin just described, is that one of the things that we can do as an effective leadership group or as a sponsor, if you're bringing a new influencer into the team, is that you can help shorten the amount of time that somebody spends in unconscious incompetence. So the couple of different things that of course, are going to be super important is helping somebody log into their back office, click around, figure out what they need to do, just figure out the basics of, how to even send their link to somebody, what somebody's going to see when they go to click to whether they're going to become a customer, whether they're going to join to be an influencer, so that that person already has a tiny bit of an idea of what it is that they might get stuck on, that they don't even know that they're going to get stuck on. We know they might, right? Again, like Kevin was describing, helping them set up their auto ship profile, introducing them to the NFT, so forth and so on. The next step of the process is basically conscious incompetence. So now you're conscious of the fact that you don't know a bunch of different things. And this is a vital stage in any process. And just know and have the philosophy and the mindset that one of two things is going to happen for most people when they get to conscious incompetence. It's either going to discourage them, and that's going to be the end of their story, or it's going to inspire them, and it's going to be the beginning of their story, right? Because all of a sudden it says, wow, I'm trying to talk to somebody about active greens, but I'm not really feeling like I'm saying the best things. I know it's good, but I'm not really sure that I'm even giving it justice, right? Or I want to show them the business because I think it'd be really good for them, but I'm maybe not explaining it the right way. And then they learn that maybe they need to be inviting rather than explaining, right? And different aspects of this, but conscious incompetence. And so if you find yourself in a place where you're in conscious incompetence, that's the point in time that makes or breaks people, the people that become of significance, the people that start to move quickly towards their dreams. It's making a list of the things that you wish you wanted to learn better and making a plan to learn them better. If you don't know where to start, you don't know where to find the resources, that's where leadership always comes into the equation. You can get with myself, you can get with Kevin, so many other different leaders that are here present with us on this call, and also part of the team to get you pointed to the right resources so that you can learn the techniques, or you can sort out those things that are stumbling blocks, right? And now the next phase that you can expect is that this is a really, really fun part. And this is when you get to conscious competence, right? So you're still thinking really quickly and consciously about all of the steps that you're doing. These are the times where you're actually, presenting to somebody and you're describing active greens, and you now are thinking about what you're saying. And as you're thinking about what you're saying, you know that you're saying it better than you said it before, right? You're thinking about how you're communicating it in a way that, wow, this is sharp compared to how I was doing it before. Or, you're writing out the plan and you're helping somebody decide how they want to get started. If they want to start just as an influencer with greens, or if they want to start as a qualified influencer, or if they want to really become a trainer and they want to train the trainer, and they call it start as an influencer pro, and you start to be able to explain things off the cuff, and it's not confusing and it's fast and it's fluid, but you're still really, really thinking about it in conscious competence. And then the last piece of the puzzle, and the goal is, and the reason for me explaining all these different things is that as you are going along in your journey, the ability to decide at what stage am I in the process? Because the goal for each and every one of us, especially if you are looking at this as something where, you want to use this business as the vehicle to unlock that next step for you. If you wanted to unlock your retirement, if you wanted to unlock that next zip code, if you wanted to unlock that next vehicle, right? If you wanted to unlock that next Caribbean vacation, right? If you wanted to unlock that next level of, circles that you can get in because you have the resources and abilities to do that, then the stage that you really want to be getting to is unconscious competence, where you are effortlessly, magically, and quickly doing the thing that is most effective, and you're not trying at it, and you're having fun doing it, and you're doing it over and over and over and over and over again, and it's just a rhythm, right? It's when you see people that are really, really fit, and you see people that basically, it's not really a big chore for them. Sure, they go to the gym, and yes, they're consistent, and yes, they're disciplined, but it's part of their life, right? That's all that it is. And so what our goal for you is to help you go through those 4 stages as we go through the 4 stages ourselves, to get to a place to where you are operating your AAO business and your active green business out of a place of unconscious competence. And so you're just flying. And we have this basically team of eagles that are just all crushing it together, having fun, and getting all of our goals taken care of, and enjoying everything that this type of opportunity and this community has to offer. So that's the philosophical part. Now let's just talk for a quick second about what are the specifics that you have to get good at, and what are you really doing? I think one of the things that gets really difficult is this is a very simple business, but it has the illusion of feeling very complicated sometimes, because you start to think about, okay, well, the training, and you start to think about the greens, and you start to think about AAO, and then you think about the 5 non-negotiables, and you think about the business generating app, and then you think about the events, and then you think about the farm, and then you think about the NFTs, and all of a sudden it's like your mind's going in 20 different directions, and it's like, what am I even doing? And so remembering, like, somewhere in your notes, somewhere on your whiteboard, whatever, I think that this is a really, really good compass to keep you pointed at the foundation of everything when it comes to your AAO business. There's only a couple different things that everybody needs to learn how to effectively do. And that's basically to build a list. It's to cultivate that list. So what that means is that, you can have a list of 100 amazing people on paper, but if you have no relationships, if you have no contact with those people, if you're not, reaching out to them on birthdays, on anniversaries, if you're not in flow with what's going on in their personal lives, you haven't really yet cultivated that list. Right? Or if it's a list of people, for example, that maybe you don't know yet, like you bought a list or you have a marketing list, or it's people that are on social media, right? But you don't really know what's going on, or you haven't really talked to them and you don't have any concept of it, then cultivating that list is the act of being in touch and being in flow with people. And then the last piece is just marketing to that list or presenting that list. That looks a lot of different ways. There's a number of different ways to make simple invites to have people look at this. And those are techniques that we can help you with. Again, those are techniques that you can learn. Sometimes these are techniques that actually come pretty intuitively. Other people, it doesn't come that intuitively, right? It's like, man, I keep talking to people about this thing and like nobody's interested. And it's like, well, maybe, you just need a little bit of a tweak in the process. So that comes down to presenting to the list. But if you always think about, okay, at the foundational core of this, I need to go back to building a list, cultivating that list, and marketing and inviting that list, showing the plan to that list. That's always the backbone of the business. And no matter how, like Kevin's describing, no matter how stuck that we get, no matter how frustrated or doubtful that we can become, ultimately to bring ourselves back to that point and say, okay, I'm drinking my active greens right now. I got it mixed up as we speak. The product's working for us. There's incredible testimonials. Who can benefit from that? That's the list. How can I reach out to them, see what's going on in that world? That's cultivating the list. And how can I offer active greens basically as a solution to improved health in their world, right? And that's, of course, marketing to that list. And so if you always have that as kind of a backbone in your consciousness, that's something to always come back to. And now the last couple things that I want to leave you with before we close is that there's a couple of things that happen, when somebody gets started in a company or joins a company. It's a lot like when you first meet somebody that you fall in love with. It's like all rainbows and roses and it's excitement and you can see no fault and this and that. And then it's like just the same way that sometimes in relationship, time can pass and suddenly life is pulling at you different ways and you're distracted, or maybe you're not as enthusiastic or putting forth the same type of like smile and energy that maybe you were in the very beginning. The same thing happens to us in this type of business. And so what's interesting is that it's so easy for us to get caught up with the things in life that have our attention right now, right? But unfortunately for most of us, those things, whether it's, having to fix something at the house, or whether it's having to, run a quick errand over here, or whether it's having to, deal with something that's pressing at work, or whatever the case may be, none of those things can unlock possibility in our life the way that this actually can. This is the one vehicle for most of us that can literally hold the keys to whatever that next door is, whatever that gate that's standing between us and the next step in life. And yet it's so easy for us to effectively start majoring in minor things, right? The old joke was always like, hey, I couldn't, make it to the thing because, well, the screen door had a hole in it. You can't just let the house fall apart, right? And it's like suddenly, our dreams are on the back burner and so forth and so on. So it's as you're going along, don't major in minor things, right? Learn to major in the majors. And the majors in this business basically is going back to exactly what Kevin was talking about, building a list, cultivate the list, present the list. And the last piece of the puzzle is what I was going to say is to follow up. And so follow up for a lot of people is very intimidating, for one, because they think that you're trying to collect a specific answer. And the other thing about it is at times we've been taught to follow up and say, hey, well, what did you think? Or, well, are you ready to get started? And although that can work in some cases, that's a really unnatural way for most of us to do such a thing. And so what I found over the last couple of years is that if you're building the business and growing, and you're taking a product and you're involved with us in the company and you're doing that, and you have people that you've shown the product to, or you have people that have looked at the business, but they haven't made a decision, they haven't said no, they haven't bought product, they haven't, become an influencer in your team, the best way to basically follow up is to put them on what I call a follow-up schedule. And all you're doing is giving them a quick update, right? Kevin and I both use the voice memos quite often, whether it's in Facebook Messenger, whether it's on text, and just checking in with somebody and letting them know what's happened for you since the last time you talked to them. So we go something like this and say, Lori, hey, it's so good. Happy Monday. I haven't seen you since I saw you at the house in Park City. I don't know what's been going on in your world, but I just wanted to give you a quick update. The last 6 or 8 weeks, been drinking active greens every single day. The testimonials have been amazing. I've been feeling great. And so far, we've had our first 150 online orders. Hope you're doing good. Talk to you soon. So all you're doing is you're just giving them an update. And the key here is to give them an update of something that's true, right? So there's so many different things that you can give them an update on. You can say, hey, I just wanted to let you know I minted my first NFT. I didn't even know what an NFT was, but now I have a Lady Tiger one. Anyway, hope you're doing good. Catch up with you soon. Hey, I just, finished my first bag of active greens. My digestive system has actually been functioning really well. Too much information. I'm sorry, but I thought you should know. Anyway, hope that, you're having a great week. Talk to you soon. And you just start to drip on people with this, and it takes all the pressure off from them. They don't feel like they got to make a decision on this moment. But as they realize a couple of things, they realize that, yes, you're participating. Yes, it's going well for you. Yes, you're still here. Yes, you're excited. It's like now those that naturally want to go ahead and order some product and try it, go ahead, get started, become an influencer. They will, because the truth is that if we talk to 10, 20, 40, 60 people and we never say another thing to them, there's probably 20 candidates that would like to buy some greens at some point or would like to become an influencer that simply won't, because it's just not top of mind to them the way that it is for us, where we're living it and drinking it and thinking about it every single day. So I'll say this. There's 2 kinds of people in the world when you really look at successful, unsuccessful people, and it's all a matter of patience, right? You'll see it this way. Most people go about their life living patiently impatient. Most people are going about their life living patiently impatient. So what does that mean? Basically, they're going through the day-to-day, tranquilo, no importa, taking lunch, taking their break at work, going home, making sure that the kids are tucked in, this and that, it's fine, but are impatient that they're not further ahead into this year than the last year. They're not further ahead next year. They wish they could take another vacation. They wish they could move into another zip code. They're upset about inflation. They're upset about gas prices, right? It's patiently impatient. And if you look at the hallmarks of success, it's always the other way around. It's impatiently patient, right? It's let's go today. Let's make it happen. Who can we talk to? Who can we see? Can we fit it in on our lunch break? Can we grab some lunch over here with this person? Hey, can we drop a stick of product over here? Hey, let me mail out another thing. Let's run back to the post office real quick. Can we do it? 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 But in the bigger picture, it says if it takes 12 months, if it takes 18 months, if it takes 24 months to change my life forever, that's okay. And so my wish for you and for me and for all of us together is we can learn to become more impatiently patient. We can learn to major in major things, and we can continue on this path to go out and set our dreams on fire. So Kevin just wanted to see if anybody had any questions that we could answer. I'm going to let him open up the line. If anybody has anything you want to go over, we can do that for a couple minutes. And otherwise, we will bid thee farewell and wish you a great week.
I kind of have a question,
Sure.
but I'm not sure if this is the right platform. So if it's not, it's okay. Just say so.
Sure.
But I was curious about